Beneath your sky, my heart learns to breathe differently, as if the air itself carries your name in every current. I walk where the world softens into twilight, and the scent of memory rests gently on my skin. Your gaze, so patient and unguarded, folds into me like music that was always waiting to be heard. I have never known stillness until your presence arrived. Quiet, sure, and full of impossible warmth. The distance between our hands hums with something sacred, an ache both tender and infinite. If I could gather every sigh, every trembling moment between us, I would weave them into a crown of unseen constellations. I live within the hush that follows your laughter, within the gravity that your soul commands. You are the language my heart has always failed to speak fluently, yet it tries endlessly. Beneath your sky the world feels reborn, drenched in gentleness and silent fire. I belong not to my name, not to my crown, but to the endless pulse that begins and ends with you, where every secret of love is written in the unspoken breath we share. When I dream, it is not of places or crowns, but of that single look you give before the world notices us. It carries the weight of a promise we never said aloud, a promise to keep something pure in a world that demands proof of everything. I remember the way the wind folds your hair like a whisper. The heavens forgot to keep, and I feel my soul kneel without command. The light around you never fades, it bends, shaping your silhouette into something more eternal than truth. You speak, and the air trembles, as though creation itself pauses to listen. I have danced within rooms filled with gold, but nothing gleams like the sincerity in your eyes. Each breath between us is a verse, unfinished yet complete. I do not crave forever, only the moments when time forgets us. If the world ever separates our hands, remember this. Beneath your sky, I have found my only definition of peace, my only understanding of love's quiet bravery. Sometimes I wonder if you realize the kingdom inside my chest bends for you. Not the kind of kingdom built from walls and rules, but one sculpted from hope and longing, where your laughter is law and your silence sanctuary. Beneath your sky, I am unafraid to be small, to let my heart stand naked before something vast and kind. I have seen the world through crystal windows and ceremonial eyes, yet nothing compares to watching dawn unfurl beside you. The sun does not rise, it obeys you. My pulse slows into rhythm with the steadiness of your breath, a music unmeasured by mortals. If love were a rebellion, mine began the first time I dared to imagine your name in my prayers. You remind me that even within royalty's decorum, the soul still longs for something untamed, something human. And so I surrender, not as a princess, but as a woman unguarded before the ocean that your existence is, grateful to drown, blissfully certain of the tide's direction toward you. I still recall the moment our fingers almost touched, as if the air trembled between them, unsure whether to allow such grace. The night was soft, almost shy, and the stars above blinked as witnesses to a secret that neither of us would speak aloud. I wanted to hold the universe still, to preserve that inch between us, where desire and destiny hovered intertwined. Beneath your sky, every silence becomes eloquent. Every heartbeat composes something divine. I am not afraid of distance, for even across continents I can feel your presence like a compass pointing home. There are days I wear your memory like armor, and others when it is a wound I cannot hide. Yet I cherish both, because they remind me that loving you is not weakness. It is the purest act of being alive. In your absence I become fluent in longing, tracing the edges of your name like a prayer that never fades, only deepens. I often walk through gardens where roses bloom, and though their fragrance tempts the senses, I seek the scent of your existence instead. The world praises the visible, yet I find my truth in what remains unseen. The quiet gestures, the unspoken care, the courage in restraint. Beneath your sky, even sorrow feels sacred. It teaches me to love without demand, to cherish what cannot be claimed, to bloom in silence. Sometimes I wonder if you sense the echo of my thoughts, wandering toward you like moths, drawn to warmth. The air changes whenever I remember your voice, and I swear the wind carries its melody across oceans. I no longer fear the fragility of love. I wear it like silk against my soul, tender but enduring. When I close my eyes, I see not just your face, but the kindness that shapes it, the infinite calm it offers. You are both my horizon and my refuge, the unseen pulse beneath all light. Nights stretch differently when I think of you. The moon becomes less a celestial body and more a witness, patient and knowing, draped in our shared silence. I wonder if love, in its truest form, is meant to be hidden, cherished like a delicate flame. Beneath your sky, I learn patience, the kind that outlives words and survives distance. My crown feels heavier when you are far, but not from duty, only from the weight of what I cannot say. Every letter I never send, every confession caught in my throat becomes a star in this quiet constellation of waiting. If you knew how your memory threads through my thoughts, you might smile softly and call it foolishness. Yet even in folly, there is grace when love is real. I live between longing and devotion, caught like dawn, between night and day, forever reaching for the warmth that your name brings to my heart. Sometimes I fear my love for you is too vast, too untamed for the delicate world we inhabit. It trembles at the edges of propriety, yet refuses to vanish. Beneath your sky, I let it breathe freely, wild and unashamed. I am not made of marble nor ceremony, though the world may insist I must be. You taught me that softness is not weakness, and that love can exist quietly without losing its power. There is beauty in restraint, a purity in silence, a strength in devotion that asks for nothing but the truth of presence. I see you in everything that moves gently, in the flutter of linen, in the breeze, in the shy glow of morning through the window pane. My heart whispers your name, not as rebellion, but as rhythm, as faith. You are the pulse of every moment I try to keep still. The reason my soul remembers that being human is the most royal act of all. The sea calls to me sometimes, reminding me of your steadiness. It roars and calms with the same grace you carry when you speak. Beneath your sky, even the horizon feels closer, as though love itself bends the distance shorter for us. I have watched waves rise only to surrender again to the shore. Perhaps that is what love truly is, a continuous surrender, not of self, but of fear. The ocean has its tempests, as do I, yet your voice turns every storm into quiet revelation. I write your name in sand only to watch the tide claim it, as if nature insists that your memory belongs everywhere. My heart no longer hides behind ceremony or title. It kneels before the simple truth that you exist. And that is enough, that you breathe beneath the same vast sky that shelters me, that the stars above us, unknowing, are witnesses to something more eternal than time itself.